Welcome back to Crime Podcastle, everyone. Now for episode 76 of our Unsolved Mystery series, we're diving into a case that's, it's both fascinating and really tragic. It's the unsolved death of Sub-Inspector Kumar.
Yeah, this case, it's one of those that really gets to you. It shows just how dangerous it can be for law enforcement, especially when you're dealing with something like organized crime.
Okay, so Sub-Inspector Kumar, from what I've read, he was a respected officer in Patna, India.
Absolutely. And he was more than just a badge. Kumar was 40 years old, had a wife and 2 kids, lived a pretty normal life in the neighborhood name area. But his colleagues, they all said he was an incredible officer. Hardworking, disciplined, always went the extra mile.
So he wasn't just solving cases, he was really making a difference. And then in 2015, he died suddenly.
Yeah, and that's where the mystery begins. It was November 10th, around 8 in the evening. Kumar left the station, told everyone he was meeting an informant, had some info about a big smuggling case.
He even told them when he'd be back, midnight. Almost like he wanted to reassure them.
Exactly. Kumar was reliable. He wouldn't just disappear. So when he didn't come back, people started worrying.
And the next morning, well, they found his body on some deserted road outside Patna.
It was not a good scene. Multiple injuries, looked like a fight, blunt force trauma to the head, bruises all over. And get this, his service revolver, gone. But his personal stuff, just scattered around.
So it doesn't sound like a random thing. It seems more like he was targeted for some reason.
Yeah, the missing gun, that's a big clue. In India, you can't just get a gun easily. So for his to be missing, that means this wasn't just some robbery. This was planned.
Chilling. So what did they find out during the investigation? Like, what did the autopsy say?
The autopsy, it confirmed he died from the blunt force trauma. The injuries, they weren't from some small accident. This was a brutal attack. And again, no gun. Everything pointed to a very deliberate, planned-out crime. So they started looking into Kumar's work, trying to see if there was a reason someone would want him dead. And that's when they found this smuggling case he was working on, the same one he was supposed to meet the informant about.
Right, that smuggling ring. Makes this whole thing sound like a movie. What were they smuggling? Was it like small stuff or something bigger?
Oh, this was big. A serious criminal network. Very organized, lots of power, and they weren't afraid to use violence. Smuggling all sorts of illegal stuff across borders. They had a lot of influence.
Wow. Okay, so this wasn't just some petty crime. Kumar was up against some dangerous people. And on top of that, he was getting threats, right? Before he died.
Yeah, he was getting threats. They never figured out who was sending them, though. So were these just some low-level thugs trying to scare him, or was it a message from the top, like a warning to back off?
It's like he was caught in the middle of something huge, trying to do his job, but knowing it could cost him his life. Did they ever find a connection between the smuggling ring and his death? Any real proof?
That's the problem. Police talked to a lot of people connected to the gang, but they never found enough to charge anyone. Lots of suspicion, sure, but no hard evidence.
That's frustrating. I mean, you have this good officer working a dangerous case, getting threats, and then he ends up murdered, and no one's held responsible.
It happens. And that's why people think he was assassinated. It fits with what we know. The missing gun, the brutality of the attack. It suggests maybe Kumar knew too much, something that could really hurt the people in charge.
So they took him out to protect themselves. But if they're so powerful, why haven't they been caught? Wouldn't they have left some kind of trail?
That's how these organizations work. They're good at hiding their tracks, making sure witnesses stay quiet. They've had years to clean things up.
It's like something you'd see on TV. But for Kumar and his family, this was real life. What about the informant he was meeting? Did they ever figure out who that was?
Nope. Another dead end. No one came forward, and the police couldn't find anything.
That's huge. I mean, this informant could be the key to the whole thing. Were they involved in Kumar's death? Or did they get scared and disappear? Maybe they were working with smugglers from the start and set Kumar up.
Yeah, there are a lot of possibilities. It's possible Kumar trusted the wrong person and paid the price. So we have 2 main theories. The smugglers killed him, or the informant betrayed him. Did the police look into any other possible explanations?
They had to, right? I mean, they couldn't just assume it was the smugglers.
Right. They considered everything. Like maybe it was a robbery gone wrong, but that doesn't really make sense, not with the missing gun and how badly he was beaten.
Unless something happened during the robbery, like maybe Kumar fought back or the robber panicked, or maybe they recognized Kumar and things just escalated.
Possible. But the investigators looked at everything, and nothing pointed to any other reason for Kumar to be targeted except for his work on that smuggling case.
So it all comes back to his job.
It does. And there's one more thing they had to consider. What about Kumar's personal life? Was there someone who wanted him dead for a personal reason?
Ah, okay, so they looked into that too.
They did. They talked to his friends, family, coworkers. No one had anything bad to say about him. Everyone said he was a good guy, didn't have enemies. His personal life seemed as straightforward as his job was complicated.
So two main theories then, each with a lot of unanswered questions. Where does that leave the investigation? Can they even solve it at this point?
It's tough to think about an officer like Kumar taken out like that, and the case is still unsolved. It's got to be hard on everyone, his family, the police, the whole community.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. His family deserves answers. They need to know what happened.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And for the police, it's a reminder of the risks they take. It makes you wonder, about their safety, the way they handle these undercover operations, working with informants.
You'd think something would have changed after this, the way they do things.
I'm sure it did. Even if they don't talk about it publicly, Kumar's death must have had a big impact on how they operate, their training, the way they assess risks.
A tragic lesson, but hopefully one that can prevent something like this from happening again.
Hopefully. But that doesn't change things for Kumar and his family.
No, it doesn't. So where do we stand now? A good officer, a smuggling ring, a mystery informant, and a murder with no answers. It's like we're lost in a maze.
It is. Kumar's case, it's a puzzle with missing pieces. But we can't let his story be forgotten.
Right. By talking about these unsolved cases, by keeping his memory alive, maybe we can make a difference.
Exactly. Sometimes all it takes is one new piece of information. A witness who decides to speak up, some evidence that turns up. It might take time, but there's always a chance that this case can be solved.
It's a long shot, but still a chance. And maybe, just maybe, by keeping Kumar's story out there, we can make that chance a little bit bigger.
That's the idea. Someone out there might remember something, make a connection, and that could be all it takes to finally get justice for Kumar.
So to everyone listening, if you have any information about Kumar's death, no matter how small it seems, please contact the authorities. It could make all the difference.
And remember, this is about more than just solving a case. This is about a real person. Kumar was a husband, a father, a son, a friend, and the people who loved him, they're still hurting.
We can't forget that. These cases, they're not just puzzles to be solved. They're about real people and the impact their deaths have on everyone around them.
Exactly. That's why we talk about these cases, why we keep the victims' memories alive. We have to keep searching for justice, no matter how long it takes.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the case of Sub-Inspector Kumar. It's a story that deserves to be told.
And as always, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this case? What stood out to you? Let us know in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe to CrimePod Castle for more deep dives into the world's most baffling unsolved mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.